the world? It's DJ 5150. I got my man Scott, DVD King in the house. I got Patrick underneath doing the thizzle. Just want to say what up to everybody.
How's it going?
Excelente. So we're over here discussing, we got into it. We got into music, life, and food. The three necessities.
Yeah, man, you gonna lead it away? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I think one thing we were talking about when Patrick came in, for those of you that don't know, Patrick, what's your background again? You got a little military?
Yeah, my background, I've been busy for a while. People think I'm like 70 years old. But I was in the Navy for 10 years, submarines, and then I worked in semiconductor manufacturing, fiber optics. Then I went to culinary school. I've been a chef since 2002. Wow, time's flying.
Good year.
And, you know, right now trying to hold down the fort with the kids doing their virtual school and my wife on the front lines in the ER.
Wow.
Rock and roll. We'll have to definitely get a little into that if we got time. DVD King, who are you and why are you?
Who am I and why am I?
Yeah.
Get existential here.
I'll be like, is this a multiple choice question? I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
All the above.
DJ over here in Central Florida, the theme parks mostly, and I edit videos. I've been on Crooked Clan as one of the artists there. People know me from there. Flown all around to do video shows. And, I'm just here to cut loose, man. What's going on?
Bro. All right, and I'm a fellow DJ myself, doing a little media now, having some fun with it. So, gentlemen, we have hit an area called COVID-19 coronavirus, and the theme parks where Scott used to have people jumping to House of Pain have slowed down a little bit.
They're not jumping anymore.
We were all moving and grooving along so good, you know, everybody was working, doing their things and that. When the wall happened and we stopped, I mean, literally, like,
it was a tidal wave. It was a tidal wave. I mean, it was like, what is it? The theme parks in, you know, over like Paris was like the first thing to close, right?
Yeah.
And then it was California, and then all these other ones closed. And I'm like, well, we still got Orlando. And then like the next day, it was like Orlando's gone. I'm like, it was like a tidal wave. I was like, what is going on?
Wow.
Yeah, I lost my screen for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're looking good, Well,
yeah.
Patrick, also a little relation to Disney. He was on the edge, I believe, of stepping on a boat right before the major.
Oh, well, yeah, we were scheduled to go on a Disney cruise March 13th. Ooh. And Renee got the email saying that all the hospital staff could not go on a cruise. So we had to cancel the night before. I'm on the phone for an hour and a half talking to Disney, canceling our cruise. They give us a full credit. No cash back, but we got a credit that we have to use within the next year. And that's the other thing too. We're wondering, what are we going to have available in the next year? Because we're kicking forward, you know, a full month now with not much change. And if we go into 2-3 months, when am I going to be able to get on that ship again? And is that going to be safe?
Right.
You know, so we're you know, in a tight spot with that. But yeah, so that was our whole thing. We're just getting ready to do spring break with the kids. The kids left school for spring break and haven't been back since.
What did you gentlemen see? Because it looked like some people still hit spring break, like in Miami and this and that. What did you guys see on your end?
I don't know, man. We just had like, honestly, as things were starting to close up, I had some people in the Panhandle. They were like excited. They're like, "Oh yeah, I think I could get you over here now that you're not doing anything." And I was like halfway considering it too. I'm like, well, man, I got to hustle. Like, let's find out. And then like another day passed and I was like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen because it was so weird that everything happened right around spring break. And then of course you've seen all these videos of people like on the beach here in Florida.
Yeah. Just the stuff that I was seeing in the news. I saw everybody down there having fun and drinking and I'm like, that is not social distancing.
All right.
Yeah. You got that one guy. Like, I don't care if I catch it, whatever. I saved up this much money to do X, Y, and Z, and it's like, bro, what are you doing?
No, that was our whole thing with the cruise. That was the last cruise that Disney actually let set sail. Was the one I was supposed to be on. And I saw a video, like some YouTube of it from people who were on the cruise that posted, and it was less than 50% full.
Oh wow.
You know, so it was. Did we lose Dion right quick?
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay, all right. Did poking around, doing stuff. Yeah, but anyway, it was less than 50% full. So if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know, when you go to the dining room where there's, you know, like seats all around, imagine half of those just empty. So the vibe was off on the ship. You know, going to the shows and there's half the audience, going anywhere on the ship and there's half the people, you know, because you know, both of you guys in the entertainment and hospitality industry, you know that the more people you have in the spot, that's the vibe, you know, that's the energy that you get. And with that being gone, I don't even know if that cruise would have been worth it.
Yeah, their mindset probably wasn't like in the right spot to begin with. Like probably worried about what they could be catching, because at that time there was all these other cruise ships with bad news that was happening. Is like,
and I was on the Facebook boards. Everybody was worried and fretting and like, should I go? Should I not go? I'm worried about my mother, my grandmother. Everybody was worried. So it was kind of good that the decision was taken from us. You know?
In hindsight, somebody had to make that decision for us, because we see how devastating it ended up being. So if you didn't make, you like, do you regret not going on it at the moment? Like, how are your feelings making that phone call then versus now?
Oh, well, like I said, as far as there's two parts. The health benefit, I'm glad I didn't catch the Rona and you know, go on some cruise ship and have to quarantine or be sick or anything like that. But on the other side, I don't think it would have been the best value for my money, because when you pay to go somewhere, you want to be in that spot. You don't want to be in a place that's half full, that's half entertaining, you know, especially with all the shows. The dancers know that audience isn't into it. The comedians know the audience isn't into it. Everybody knows that this is kind of like the last cruise. You know, the beaches were nice though, because they're half full.
Yeah.
But once again, you know, it's one of those things. As soon as you get back, now you have to go gear up and fight in Publix to try to find some eggs.
Toilet paper.
Hey, you guys froze coming.
Really? Where's the toilet paper at?
Where'd you go? Oh, we got it. Oh, okay. We were getting.
We got another guy. This is downtown Paul Jimenez right there. Paul, can you hear us? He's working.
Yeah.
He's working.
Hold on. Let me hop on the
Don't head towards the light.
Yeah. Go away from the light. Well, here's a question while we wait for Paul to come in.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
What have you guys done? Have you taken this efficiently for time, or have you sat around and said, I'm not going to do anything, or have you said, I'm going to use this time efficiently? Because that's a lot of the discussions that's going on right now with me and my peoples, is utilizing this time to create, whether it's DJing, whether it's building a Lincoln log house. What have you been doing? How have you utilized this time?
Well, for me, I would say I definitely utilized this time. Like, I had a project that I wanted to do before the pandemic that I wanted to do. And it required me recording and editing and creating something. And come to find out, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't have been able to create it, because the talent that I wanted to hire had signed some sort of a exclusivity with the company, but there was a loophole in the contract or whatever negotiations that they wouldn't have been able to record unless they were getting a weekly paycheck. But then, since there was no gigs, they weren't getting a weekly paycheck. Therefore, they used that leverage, and I paid the person to come over and do the recordings that I wanted to do for, you know, some future classes of stuff I would like to teach. So without the pandemic, I wouldn't have been able to produce or record the classes that I wanted to produce. So whether or not I'll make money selling these classes or whatever, that's to be foreseen. But you can't sell something if you don't have a product. So that's one of the things I did with my time so far.
Wow, that sounds very similar. I was listening to some very simple sales stuff the other day, and I forget who said it. Two ends. He said,
"Oh, is Paul okay over there?"
Yeah, how you doing, Paul? I can hear you. I can't see you.
Hold on.
But yeah, there was one guy. He said he broke it down real simple. He said someone has to make it and someone has to sell it, and he left it at that. And I was like, is it that simple? What up, Paul?
Fellas, what's going on?
What's going on, player?
Hey.
I like that shirt. You looking fresh to death there.
Oh man, awesome, dude. Just got back from a showing actually with a client. It's late. Thanks for having me stop by.
It's all gravity.
Hey.
I got my man Patrick right here. This is Patrick. Say hello, Patrick. This is Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, guys?
I got Scott DVD King up on top right here with a flashy hat.
Oh, nice, nice. Love the background. I love the background.
So we're just chopping it up right now. We were really getting into COVID-19, what happened before the stop. Scott was telling a little bit about what he was utilizing with his time as far as getting stuff done during this time. I mean, how is it for you? He's all right now, Paul. He's in pretty much, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, the downtown real estate market. So like the high-rise living.
Correct.
So how was it for you when they said stop, go out, social distancing, everything stopped? What was the feel on your side?
Well, we're actually essential business, so we're actually able to work. We're still actually able to show and meet with clients, but I took it down a notch. I don't really want to be out there right now, but we're doing a lot of virtual tours right now. So everything from my phone is actually video recording the property, the home, the high rise, the unit, what they want to see, and just actually texting the unit, the home, emailing them, doing FaceTime tours. So everything's all virtual right now. We're still closing deals, still pretty busy, man. We have a strong market downtown, so it slowed down a little bit, but we're definitely not dead, man. You know, Orlando's a strong market, man. So everybody wants to move in the city. Fortunately, I'm still staying busy. I'm still working, man. So
I got a question for you. Would
Yeah.
you just say it's more acceptable to be virtual right now, and there's no problems with it? Like before the pandemic, were you doing it all virtual?
I've always had virtual. I've always had videos on my website. I've always had everything on my phone, like all the units downtown. I've always had everything video. But now it's just more in demand now because, everybody wants to see everything virtually. So it's definitely pick up, man. It's something that it's going to be used for the future purposes. We see it going that route in the future too.
Oh, that's great. So you said you're doing FaceTime tours?
Yeah, FaceTime tours with my cell phone, Instagram tours, Instagram links, just everything video, man. So give them that front row seat.
Because that's one of the things that I've been looking at. Like, I'm not in real estate or anything, but watching DJs perform live online, there's a different feel with live than a recording. So I could probably watch you on YouTube and that'd be okay. But to be there live with you in a house has to be incredible. They're like, oh, go back. I want to see that room again.
Yeah.
Talk to you while you're doing it.
That's awesome, man. Yes, I mean, people, they know they want to live downtown. They already know what building they want to be in, or they already know they want to be in the home. So you can give them that first class experience virtually, without them touching and feeling anything.
Got an idea. Let's do a virtual tour, and we'll DJ in the actual apartment, and you can virtual tour with your choice of DJs in the apartment. You just be a little
It's like we'll virtually be there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Dion, what you been doing with your time?
Myself?
Yeah.
Man, today was really, it's been an eye-opening process, but today was even more of an eye-opening process. I've been doing stuff like this, doing videos, but I've been literally just diving deep into tutorials, learning my gear, learning iMovie, learning Ableton, which is a sound program, learning my tech. It's, for me, the industry that I'm in, Scott is definitely more of a techie. Like, his skills on the video tech side are tremendous. Like, I love his work, and he has a great YouTube channel where he shares tech stuff that he does through videos, through DJing, and through just technical aspects. And he also shares other people that are in his industry, and is just a great learning channel. But for me, these tutorials I've had so much time that I'm using the time to learn. Today I was on iMovie, and it might not be a big deal for somebody, but when I'm knowing where all the shortcuts and the keys, and I'm developing these little movies, and I'm thinking I couldn't do this a week and a half ago. I couldn't. I never took the time to sit down and learn iMovie, but now I took a week and I'm learning it, and I'm editing and chopping up videos, and I love it. I'm like, this is great. This time it's been so beneficial. I don't think I would have utilized it before, doing like 50, 60, 70 hours of work and then having to stop. And now I can just really focus on tech. And as something we're all talking about, and we can get into it if we want, it's, for me, I'm looking at me and my industry. I make money off of events. gatherings, a lot of people. So DJing, or whether I'm at the hotel, it's all events, weddings. And so this right here really let me know I need to start looking at the tech side, because we have the industrial age, which is almost finished in a sense, but the tech side is here, and it's blowing up, and it's morphing everything.
So yeah, your ability to use it is going to be powerful.
Yeah.
The more tech you can get your hands on and understand, like even this conference right now, this is a step for me. This is
Me too.
My third time on Zoom, and I can play around with backgrounds and stuff. So everything's growing. Like you were saying about getting into the gear and doing the detailed stuff or the boring stuff is some people call it. I got the DVDJ 400 for Christmas and just kind of messed around with it and didn't really do anything. But since, the quarantine, I've been able to go in, watch YouTube tutorials, read manuals, and really get into it, and actually, produced some, decent stuff lately. So it's kind of interesting the evolution that's happened over the past 4 weeks versus, the past 4 months.
So we're all we're seeing how tech is changing our lives. I think Scott, what have you seen? Scott started, did you start with records?
Yeah, I started with records, 95, yeah. 95.
So what have you, it must be amazing because you're past ahead of me on the tech side. I see what you do and what you build. Do you ever sit back and be like, wow, this is crazy, the stuff I can do right now?
I look back and I'm like, everything was like a different game. Like now, I don't know, you've had to learn how to use Photoshop to make flyers. You had to learn how to do video editing in order to do something. Like, I don't know, it's just like ever evolving. Like, what's the next step what's the next thing you gotta learn? So, I don't know. I always look at it as like, we got to keep growing, because I see other people and they'll be like, oh, they're still living in like the past. And I'm like, the game isn't like that anymore.
Yeah. The game will tell on you.
Yeah.
That same amount of hustle that you took to go out and get money for the record store, you have to throw that away and use that same amount of hustle towards the next thing. And like never stops. And if it stops, you just get stuck, left behind, and that's just the story of life. And it was really hard for me to learn that, because I don't know, I guess the fear of failure is like not want to say failure, but the fear of like falling behind is what keeps me moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
So using the word moving forward,
or growing. Yeah.
So how do we keep ourselves on track every day? I know for me, I have to be very militant. I have to have my wake up time. I have to have my coffee, my shake, my workout. I have to have certain things in place, because if it falls out of place, my day gets just.
Oh, okay. Well, that goes to a little bit of NLP. It's like, what is your desired outcome?
All right, people are listening, and what we're talking about. What is NLP?
So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, and it's just a way to model how you see the world.
Okay.
And then make clarity of it, and then use that clarity to forward progress, or whatever progress you want. If you want to be in a stuck state, I guess if you're happy, then that's fine, But it's all about your desired outcome. Where are you at, and how are you going to get there? Where you want to be, where you're at today, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. And that's it. I know a lot of people that are stuck in the past, but that's just, a loop they haven't, it's a closed loop. They're still stuck in the loop,
Okay, well, I like the way you're saying that. Let me take it down to Patrick. If we could take it down to you from a military standpoint, to chef this and that. What'd you say, Scott? You said where you're at. What'd you say?
Right, where are you at today? Where do you want to be? Okay, once you have clarity of that, now it's like, how are you going to get there?
Right. What do you get out of that from your background, from the military to the culinary to wherever? Like how's that?
Well, definitely everything that I've been in. Like when I joined the military, that was almost an escape to move forward. It was a great way to get out of a rut that I was in, just growing up in Orlando. And then in the Navy, I learned how to learn. I learned how to pick things up real quick. And I also learned what it looks like when you don't want to do something. So I learned what I don't want to do. Wow. And so getting out, moving into fiber optics, that was easy. It was like I picked it up and I did the job. And then working in that industry and having an opportunity to work in the kitchen, something that I've always had a passion for, something I always wanted to do. I got a chance to work in the kitchen. I started off as a butcher at Emerald's, and I knew I didn't know enough, so I wanted to go to culinary school. I got a chance to do that, excelled in culinary school, worked at the Ritz-Carlton, got a chance to do a lot of things because I knew how to grab it, I knew how to get it, and I knew I've been stuck before, and I knew how to move, because even the whole time in the military, they send you to training, and you have to learn and move. You were not allowed to stay stuck. So a lot of that stuff is actually taken away from you. You're not allowed to sit there and be in a rut. You know, so moving between industries, I almost don't see the industries the way a lot of people do. Oh, cooking's totally different from this. And there's a lot to it. A lot of former military do very well in the kitchen because they've been yelled at before. They know how to play hurt. They know how to move fast and learn quick. And that's everything you need to survive in the kitchen. And I think that's what got me through. People ask me, how long have you been cooking? I'm like, I just started, you know, early in the career. They're like, you sure you're not like an executive chef or you've been cooking for 10, 15 years? I'm like, no, ex-military. And they're like, oh, okay. You know, so it gave off, you know, a sense of confidence and, you know, reassurance that I was okay going on to this new thing. And even now, like I said, picking up some turntables and learning how to DJ, I'm just learning. It doesn't matter. I'll learn anything, you know. So I'm just picking up a new skill, getting into a new industry. I don't know where it's going to go, but I know I'll have a talent and a skill to fall back on. I know I'll just pick up talents and skills, you know, as time goes on.
I mean, there's so many ways we can go with this. I'm gonna go over to my man. I'm gonna go over to my man Paul. So basically, what a lot of us here, we're talking about progressive thinking processes, A, B, C, D, E to get to F. Paul, from your starting, from where you've begun to where you are now, and Paul he's a great guy. I think everybody on here actually has very similar personalities, which is why I invited all you guys on here. All you guys are great guys, givers, and just the energy is just good. So Paul, for yourself, the steps it took for you to get to where you are now, explain those steps. Did you look at it as work, as life, as happy? You know, explain the steps it took for you to get to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and to keep on going.
Right,
you know,
right.
if that makes any sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah. A little bit about my background. I came from Norfolk, Virginia, so I don't know if you're aware of like the 757 area code, but it's not an area. It's not a very wealthy area, you know. It's middle class or lower income. So
I've been through Norfolk.
yeah, we call it United by Norfolk. So if you can get out of that city, man, you made it. So yeah, man. So it all started when I grew up. My parents always instilled me to work hard, man. So nothing's you know, given to you. So it's whatever you do in life, you just got to work, you know. So they instilled work in me at age 6, 7, started cutting the grass, you know, for $5, doing this, chores and everything, you know, all that just, you know, built up. And then I was a state champion in high school too, wrestling. So I played, I wrestled in high school and got a full scholarship to Old Dominion University. So I just think playing a sport, especially at a younger age or in high school or middle school or whatever, it teaches you to not quit, you know, and that's always been my blood, to not quit, to not lose. Teamwork is really important to me. Dedication. I mean, because we all want to win, right? So, you know, in order to win, you gotta practice. When you practice, it's all repetitive action. You know, you wake up, you go to school, you go to practice. You go to school, you go to practice. You go to school, you go to practice. You know, you work on your weaknesses and you counter on your strengths. You know, I think playing a sport definitely got me ready for the real world. After I graduated college, you know, I was working for the Ritz-Carlton too, for a great company.
Yes.
Learned a lot about just life in general. You know, stepping into the real world is not a joke, you know. And then from there, you know, I got into real estate 2007, 2008. And then I just used what I've learned in the real world, just, you know, helping people, worked on my relationship skills, my developmental skills, because I'm pretty good with people, you know, and you got to know your strengths. I think if you sit down and you get to write down all your strengths and you counter on your strengths, you're gonna go far. And you should know your weaknesses too. Like I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. So you should always counter on your strengths and work on your strengths, also work on your weaknesses too. But yeah, going forward, it's just repetitive action. I go back, look how I was raised and everything from now. When I wake up, I make my bed, boom, drink some tea, drink 2 glasses of water, go in the restroom, hit the gym for an hour, and boom, start my day. There's always got to be some type of repetitive action every day. You can't make it in life without just like you said, no set agenda. There's always got to be like a planner. Like next week, you should already have something planned for next week. If 2 days are missing out of next week, you should be filling those gaps with something, a networking event, touching base with a family member, Zoom, conference call. You should always be keeping yourself busy, even though it's not really productive, but it's still keeping your mind going and you're staying busy, so that's always attained every day in your life. So that brings back to real estate now. It's, I wake up every day, contact my clients, and I'm not there for the sale. I'm there for the relationship. Like you guys should be contacting your clients too, just to touch base with them and saying, how you doing? How's the family? How's the dog doing? Simple things that you're showing that you care, and you're not there just for a sale. You're not there, for a benefit. You're there for the relationship, which you guys are. We're all in the business of relationships.
Yes.
And always told everyone that, just do hard work. And, it's, even though you're not making the money now, it's all about long-term, the relationship factor, because you do good work, people will notice,
Oh, yeah.
People will notice. You don't got to come up there and be like, I'm the best. I mean, you can say I'm the best in your head, of course, but you don't really got to come out and say it, because people will notice.
Yeah, it's better to just be the best and do the work.
Yes.
Yeah, let somebody tell you you're the best.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all about relationship. We're all in the relationship business, man. So it's all about, just I'm contacting all my clients now, and I know they're not in the moment to like buy or purchase or anything, but they know I'm here.
Right.
As for like you guys, you guys are entertainment. I already know what you guys do. So you guys don't got to sell me no more. So it's more of the relationship factor.
Right.
If I need something, I can go to Cleveland. I can go to Dion, because I already know what you guys do. Now it's all about the relationship status from here on out, and just maintaining it and just having that set agenda, like you guys said.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, well, that's what Dion and I started doing, because we'd seen each other in circles for years. When we reached out and started talking, and then we had some conversations, and then opportunities like this. Now I'm gonna Zoom with you guys. Now there's 2 more people I know. Then I'll meet 2 more people, and then it goes on and on and on like that. And that's how amazing things, like you said, relationships, all kinds of things like that are formed. So who knows what the next chapter is?
right.
But we'll be there for it.
Yeah.
However this goes down.
Yeah, you just gotta be. I look at this as like off season. It's I mean, people are using this time to their advantage. This is where the people succeed. They take this time. It's a downtime, but it's really a positive time for a lot of people. You get to sit back. You get to think about life. You get to think about the business you're in, spiritually, physically, mentally, like, and just this opportunity may not come again. So it's a good time. Like I said, I'm relating this back to sports. I'm taking this as off season. Like this is my off season. Now, like, wow, somebody just gave me 2 months just to chill and relax. No, I'm still training.
Yeah.
I'm still training in the off season. So when the season starts back up, I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. First game, I'm go. Let's go. I'm ready to win. Let's go. You just gotta be prepared, man. So when this quarantine opens back up, boom, they already know that you're here, that you're there for them. And during this downtime, you were there for them too. You were calling them up, giving them high spirits on social media.
Yep.
You're doing everything for them. So when the time comes, you're there to produce. So
I believe that's definitely like that's where we got to gear towards. Like I see a lot of good coming out of this, but I also understand there's going to be a lot of pain that comes out of this. There's going to be people don't want to talk about it, but everything's going to be up. From foreclosures to divorces to blah blah blah. The list will go on.
Oh yeah, all the bad stuff. Yeah.
Right. So one of the platforms, like the one I'm building with this whole 5150 media, I'm trying to put together this platform to where we can give. It's going to be a giving platform. So with stuff like this, whether it's videos, you know, whether it's Scott has some stuff he wants to put on, it's basically going to be like a square. And I want to promote like your guys' stuff, my buddy's stuff that I know that has good energy, good ties to it, and where people can come look at it and they can take off with it if they want, and just to share all this stuff we talk about, like the conversations I have with you guys. But not all people are having conversations like we have. And so there's people out there, because I know I was a person before this whole YouTube thing hit and the whole, I understood what was going on in all these books. Like it was kind of like me just floating around the world, just learning,
Right.
learning through people or through wisdom. But we have so much information now that we can share to people that want it, because, you know, we don't want to force it onto people. But there's some great information floating around, and I just want to package some of it and just push it out and give it away to people and say, hey, bite on it. If you like it, you like it. If it's not for you, it's not for you, you know?
Oh yeah, just put it out there. It'll take care of itself.
I mean, I don't know if even like what Scott, what you're doing right now, I don't know if you want to touch on it at all with any of your projects that you're thinking about putting together or that you are putting together.
Well, yeah, man, I'm more like the entrepreneurial stage right now. I'm just really working hard, and because on social media marketing, because you can't make money if you don't have customers. So I figured I'll just learn how to get people customers, and that'll just take care. I'll be like the middleman for everything. Besides making my own projects for what I want to do, I'll be able to take the marketing skills and apply it to that. There was just one other thing that I was thinking about when I was hearing some of the other conversation. It's important to work hard. I totally agree with that, but there's this little catch that I always get caught up on, and it was something that I had for me, is that working harder doesn't always equal more success. And that was like a belief that I had really like deep into me, that I was like, oh, the harder I work, the more successful I'll be. It'll equal to more dollar amounts, and that's not true. That's and when I had that truth broken, it like totally broke me, and then I had to go figure out why that wasn't true. And you know, I've almost come up with the answer now, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Just because you work hard doesn't mean it equals more success. Working harder plus working smarter equals success.
Yeah, learn and move.
Gotta learn to adapt too. That was just something I was thinking about when I was hearing things, and I was like, oh, I gotta say that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a spot where the energy's not right or the situation's not right, and you do the best you can at that, and you find that there's a plateau, that there's a flat level and you can't do anymore, then yeah, move on.
Okay.
You know, having had so many different careers, I'm not afraid to pick up a new job, a new industry, a new career. I definitely believe you can get into different things that interest you. You know, I've ended up doing some really cool stuff just because I just said, sure, you know, like this conversation. Hey, Patrick, meet some friends on Zoom. Sure. You know, we'll see where this goes. I mean, I don't know what this is, but we're doing it. You know, I mean, hopefully we'll look back in a couple of years and it's like, oh, remember that video during the virus? Yeah. Oh man, so we'll look back on this and see it was a catalyst for something.
Yeah.
We'll have to check in and see where we're at 5 years from now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'll probably still be here with my drink.
Who knows? We'll just have to do another call.
Yeah.
You still might be locked up in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be right here.
Hey, Patrick, well, you made me think when you were talking. So in team scenarios, whether you're the leader or part of the team, and we've had discussions with this it could be from military to culinary to whatever. How do we focus as a team, know the mission, get the job done, even with people we might not get along with, whether I'm being yelled at by my leader or I'm being something.
You're talking about just generally in life, like any situation?
Well, what you learn through military and culinary, dealing with different personalities and personalities that might not be the personality that you want to be around.
Oh, they won't be. Yeah. I can guarantee you, the more people you surround yourself with, you're going to encounter some people you won't like. That's just a part of life. One of the things from being on submarines is when you go out to sea for 2 to 3 months, you're stuck with these people. Just like right now, being stuck in the house, and it's your family, but you're stuck in the house, and people you love, you might need a break from, or a second. Hey, oh, hold on. See, right now, guys, give me a second. So, voice activated. As soon as I start talking, everybody wants to talk. No, one of those things that we had in the military, there's always somebody in charge, but sometimes you have a situational authority where, depending on what the evolution is, I'm in charge for this moment, then you're in charge for that moment on a different part of that evolution, and then you have somebody maybe supervising the whole thing, keeping the mission on the forefront of your mind, and just driving forward, and just being goal oriented, like getting the actual job done. I've done some great work with horrible people.
Really?
All right. I've done some great work with horrible people that I can't stand, but we both want to get out of there. And so we both know the best way for us to be done with this is to actually be done with this. And so let's cross every T, dot every I, and we work hard together. And then if things get sorted out, that might actually be your friend, and that might be somebody you can rely on, because when things were at their worst, you guys did good. So I mean, and not every relationship, not every great relationship is going to stay great. Not every bad relationship is going to stay bad. So somebody that gets on your nerves, you might figure out what that was. A couple months later, you find out. I remember one chef, who shall remain nameless, thought he was a jerk, but turns out he was just him. He was the exact same way every day. He didn't change his personality. He didn't try to be someone else. He didn't try to do anything different. And so when you expected what he was going to say and do, you could prepare for it. And you knew how to talk to him, and you knew what his responses were going to be. And so I worked around that. I had to adjust to a guy that was perceived as horrible, but I just got used to his personality. And then we got along the way he is.
Right.
We didn't get along on what I wanted. We got along on the way he demands a certain level of work and a certain response, and I gave him that, and we were fine.
Right. Wow.
I'd see other people get yelled at, other people cursing and angry, and I'm like, dude, you haven't figured this guy out yet? He's the exact same guy every day.
Gotta adapt.
Right.
So I don't know if that answered your question. I went off on a tangent, but definitely, as far as working in groups, I say learn your people. Like playing chess, each piece has a different move.
Right.
And the same with people. You cannot expect everything from everybody. Some people are pawns, some people are bishops, some people are rooks, and you have to learn who they are and what their capabilities are, and go from there.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So that's a whole nother a whole nother six pack we can talk through.
All right, well let's wrap this up, because I'm on the free Zoom, so that's gonna be, I think I only got like 40 minutes on the free Zoom.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah, no, we'll close it up. Everybody stay on. We'll close it up. But I'm gonna start with Paul and then go around. I want you to look into the camera, and anybody that, well, I could put it two ways.
Hey, you're gonna put this out, okay?
All right, Paul, somebody who's might be feeling down because of what's going on with the economy and was just beginning in the real estate world, just look at the camera and just give them a piece of advice.
Well, yeah, I mean, real estate or not real estate, I think you should just stick to your plan, the plan before this quarantine, the plan before this whole Corona extraordinaire even developed. Hopefully you guys had your agenda, your routine that you were still doing. I still recommend doing it. What's stopping you? The agenda is the same. The circumstances has changed. So the agenda is the same.
Right.
The circumstances has changed.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do now to plug in the gaps? And you gotta sit down and you gotta relate that to your life, or your professional life or personal life, and figure out what are you gonna do to fill those gaps, because everyone's different. Everyone's going down a different road, But like I said, the agenda is still the same. The goal is still the same, right? But now we've been hit with this roadblock. What are you gonna do to fill in the gaps? And you have to fill in the gaps.
Right.
You can't just sit back and take it for what it is and thinking that everything will be okay just by sitting back and sitting in your home. You know, like I said, either it be spiritually, mentally, it don't even gotta be work related. You know, fill those gaps with something productive and just keep on moving forward, because we're gonna get through this. And then once it opens back up, like I said, the few that were working on their craft are gonna be successful, and they're gonna be ahead of the game while you are, you know, set back 2 to 3 months. So like I said, the agenda the same, the goals the same, circumstances has changed, fill in those gaps, and just keep on moving. Keep on moving.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna let you, Scott. I'm gonna let you look at the camera. So I'm a young DJ. I was already struggling. I was getting in there, you know, and all of a sudden this wall hit me. And so what advice do you give to the young aspiring DJ who's starting out now? And obviously we're in challenging times, but also as a DJ, what I notice on these DJ pages, including myself, is they're less like, I don't know how to get gigs. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. Just piece of advice for someone like that.
So when I think about DJing, it's not like people become a DJ and it's handed to them, right? There's a lot of work. There's a lot of like hustle just to be able to do it and make a career out of it. Now, whether the economy's great or if something's going to hit you in the face, it's like, do you want to do it? Like, are you going to do everything it takes to make sure it happens? Is this going to shake you? I mean, you might have to do something else for money to pay for something. But when I became a DJ, I went to school during the day. I worked at Sam's Club for the second shift. And then when the Sam's Club closed, I went to the club at night and then back to school the next morning. Like, whether or not I'm in financial, like the world shut down, that's not going to stop me. Like, you know, there's this quote in this book that, and I really like it. I'll have to get the title. Maybe you could put a link to it, but I forgot what it was called. But you have to do the positive self-talk. Like, you have to do the who am I statement. Who am I? I'm the guy that stayed up all night making sure this was ready to go. Who am I? I'm the one that's here when nobody else wanted to be here. Maybe somebody else showed up late. What do you mean, who am I? I'm the guy that's going to make this happen. That's the talk you have to have all the time, whether the economy is good or bad. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Show us.
Amen. I'm with you on that. All right, Mr. Patrick. I'm a young aspiring chef. I wanted to start my own emeralds, and I started out on the bottom, and I don't know if I'm built for this. What do you have first?
One of the best things a chef gave me advice on about how to become a chef is to start working. So the only way you can learn it is to get in there and get in there hard. Say yes to everything. I did learn how much I didn't know when I first started, and that's why culinary school became my second goal after becoming a chef. The first was to cook. The second was to learn how to cook. So I realized that wasn't working out. Learn everything, read everything. A lot of chefs don't get deep into learning it for a while, like talking to other chefs, reading books, reading magazines, get into it. And also, even when you're at home cooking, starting off as a butcher, I love buying like whole or large cuts of meat and, you know, cutting my own steaks and breaking down a chicken or anything like that. You know, even during the quarantine here, I've been putting my skills to use with just utilizing every part of a vegetable, making stocks, you know, with the scraps, making stocks with bones, just utilizing everything, saving, you know, bacon grease like grandma did in the jar, you know, just going old school, because there was a time where people didn't have a lot anyway. You know, virus or not, people didn't have much and you had to get by. So now we're getting by and I'm like, I already know how to do this. This is great. Showing up early, staying late, like when this is all over and you're on the scene, showing up early, staying late, putting the work in is a great way to move up. One of my secrets of moving up the ladder was going to work. There's a lot of people in the service industry that call in. It's a nice sunny day out. We're missing a line cook. We're missing a server. We're missing this and that. There's a lot of people that don't go to work. That's a huge secret, just showing up. And there's a lot of people that can't do that. Like, that's a skill, being reliable. That's a valuable, tangible skill, just being where you say you're going to be and doing what you say you're going to do. So that's I mean that's a simple version.
All right, I love it. 4-star generals, man. Paul, Scott DVD King, my man Patrick, 5150. You guys got any questions? Leave them in the comments. I'll leave some links. Everybody, you have a good evening. One love. We will get through this. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Love you guys. Take care, man. Have a good night.
Nice meeting you.
Hey.
Scott, see ya. See you, Pat.
Deuces.